Hi, I'm Amy Harbison. Welcome to Seniors Today, a monthly program produced by the Commission on Aging devoted to issues and interests of Montgomery County's 55-plus community. On today's show, we'll learn how we can make our homes more energy efficient and save money in the process. And we speak with the chair of the county's Commission on People with Disabilities about their priorities that impact older adults. But first, combating age discrimination in the workplace is a very real problem today, and joining me to talk about this issue is Jim Stowe, the director of the county's Office of Human Rights. Welcome, Jim.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so
Amy.
much for coming in.
My pleasure.
This is such a big issue, not only for our local community, but globally. And I'm curious to know, we have such pervasive attitudes by employers about older people not being as productive, not being healthy, not being as skillful. And yet research shows that that's really not the case, that in fact, it's great for younger people to be paired with older people for mentoring and for skill building. What is your office doing to help us sort of combat these kinds of assumptions being made in the workforce today about older people?
Well, first and foremost, we try and get information out to the community, not only to employees, but also to employers, to let them know exactly what you just said, by the way, that all those things that are known to be out there as fact really are not fact. And in fact, most of the older workers today end up being some of the best workers because they do bring those experiences. They do bring an opportunity then to have that mentorship going on with younger employees. So all that's very, very true. I think part of the problem is, however, is that we have this distinct difference between the younger generation and the older generation, and have been separate for so long that we have a lot of difficulty in bringing those two groups of people together.
Yes, I know your website has a great article about how we begin to bring people together and look at each other in a different way in the workforce, because we have people living much longer and needing to work, wanting to work longer. So what do you think is the most important message we can get out there to employers right now about creating a multi-generational workforce?
Well, workers are ready to work. Something you just mentioned a minute ago. And I think the thing that employers need to understand then is that workers, even older workers, do want to learn new skill sets. They're not set in their ways. They can bring to the workplace not only those experiences mentioned a minute ago, but also they can bring an idea about just perspective on looking at a problem maybe differently than maybe the current worker. And so this is something that they often don't think about in terms of this needed resource that's out there.
Absolutely.
The other thing I think is more important is the fact that sometimes these workers can bring to the workplace not only the experiences, but they also can bring a sense of calmness to the situation. A lot of workplaces right now are very hectic and trying to meet deadlines and schedules and so forth and so on. And sometimes someone coming in with a more calming kind of attitude because of experiences can help those who are younger workers go to get through that period of time where there's a lot of flux and confusion. So it's a real byproduct that people don't often think about.
That's true. Your office has probably dealt with a lot of people who have been filing discrimination cases. Can you give me a sense of what kind of issues are coming up for people and what you recommend them doing if they have a case of discrimination?
Well, first and foremost, if you have any idea or even thought about that you think you've been discriminated against, call us and let us have a conversation with you about what you think happened and give you some idea about whether or not that's true discrimination or could be discrimination. And then the second thing, of course, is once you kind of work through all that, is understand that you have rights and take advantage of those rights. Become knowledgeable about the kind of workplace that you're in, rules and regulations. Read your handbook to be clear about what your rights are within the workplace itself. So when things happen, you've got some bases to go forward with your thought or your question about what may be happening to you. So all those things are critically important. And then call our offices. We have a process by which you can call and file the complaint. We work you through the process. We have you understand what's involved with time and the effort to actually file the complaint itself, the expectations of when you might hear back from us, the results of your investigation, and what's going to be required of you in terms of your involvement in the investigation as well. And so it will allow you then to be in a much better informed position to move forward with a statement of discrimination, if in fact that's the case.
And do you feel that this is an underreported
It is,
area?
Amy. I was going to ready to say yes, because people don't want to go through the time and the effort to file the complaint, and particularly older workers. It's not worth it. Listen, I'm just coming here to do my 40 hours, this, that, and the other. If I can't be productive or be creative in this work environment, at least I've got a job.
Right.
And no, you're at a point in your life now where not only do you have a job, you've got something to bring to the workplace of great value. You're an asset. So therefore, you ought to be in an environment that not only encourages you, but also stimulates you. So by all means, file the complaint. Let us get involved. Let us be in a position then to be a resource to you.
Sure, absolutely. And to know that there are laws to protect you if you come forward. So I'm curious to know, are there incentives that the county is thinking about for employers to encourage them to be hiring more seniors?
Well, we in our office are not really in that particular part of the business, but I think that just in general, the county is recognizing that all of us make up a marvelous opportunity from a resource standpoint for all employers in Montgomery County, because we got all types, all kinds, all needs, right? And so many of us can fulfill those needs. And so I think you're going to see more and more of an incentive package put together. There'll be one that will, again, bring all workers to the table to kind of fill the need that we have in terms of the employment community. So while I don't have anything specific to talk about this morning, I should say, we do in fact have the opportunity then to kind of look at ways that we can be more inclusive in the workplace.
That's great. And are you feeling that when you're going out to the community that people are more aware of the importance of having a multi-generational workplace? Are you seeing that there's more will to create that in Montgomery County, since we are an age-friendly community?
In a word, yes, I see that starting to happen. We have many more people who are starting to say, you know what, I'm going to live right here in Montgomery County. I'm not going to move to some other place. I'm going to live my life here. And so we see more people who are in fact staying in place, living in place in their communities and their homes. And so I think that bodes well for us, for those who want to continue to work beyond the actual retirement year from a particular job. We don't see any more of the job settings where people are working, 30 years, 20 years, even 15 years anymore. It's not happening anymore.
Right.
And so I think you're going to see opportunities for older workers because of those reasons, as new workers move from job to job, trying to find that one that really suits them and the situation, this lifestyle, etc.
So to learn more about what's going on in your office and your article that you wrote about this issue, we recommend people go to the
website. Look at that article. We kind of talk about some of the issues that are confronting older workers, but also we're speaking directly to employers to look more keenly at this work resource. And so, yes, call us, of course, 240-777-8450 for information about this. Go to our website, of course, which is Montgomery County, md.gov/human rights.
Terrific. And you do so much beyond that area, but thank you so much for talking about the significant issue today, and we welcome you back soon.
My pleasure, Amy.
Thank you so much. When we return, we'll learn about a group in Montgomery County addressing the issues and challenges for our residents with disabilities. So please stay with us.
Did you know there are more than 10,000 county government phone numbers? But there's only one number you need to remember for non-emergency calls: 311. MC 311 is Montgomery County government's online telephone information system. Need information? Have a problem or complaint? Trying to locate a county government facility? Call 311. The call center is open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. The website is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
In Montgomery County, we have a goal to reduce waste and recycle 70% of all waste by 2020. By recycling and reducing waste, we save natural resources and make our community even better. So recycle at home, work, school, everywhere, and keep recycling going. For more information, call the Montgomery County, Maryland Division of Solid Waste Services at 311 or visit montgomerycountymd.gov/recycling.
Keep it going.
Recycle more now.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
Welcome back to Seniors Today. The Commission on People with Disabilities advises the County Executive and County Council on important issues affecting county residents with disabilities. Joining me to tell us more about their efforts is Seth Morgan, the chair of the commission. Welcome, Seth. Thanks for coming in today.
Good morning, Amy. Thank you for inviting me.
I think people are probably just interested in knowing what your commission does and how you set your priorities. Can you tell us a little bit?
Sure. First off, I want to tell you that we are celebrating our 41st anniversary of existence in advising the county government.
Wow.
And
congratulations.
Thank you very much. We had a great celebration for that. And what we do is we advise the county on legislation that they're considering and programs that they're considering. They come to us and say, what impact would this have on your community and people with disabilities generally? And we often point out to them issues that they're not aware of. That's why they come to us. We have expertise on all types of disabilities within our commission. And it's basically advisory. We will approach them as well if we identify a problem that we are concerned about and ask them to consider working on that as well. So it's a two-way street.
Terrific. I know that transportation is a huge issue for everyone in the county, but most specifically for seniors and people with disabilities. And there's so many complex issues right now. I know that there's a plan for pedestrian safety. How have you been advising on that new master plan that's being considered?
We've had input into the process working with Montgomery County's DOT, Department of Transportation. We have had advisory capacity within that, and we are working to try and figure out how the design of the changes in the pedestrian walkways is achieved in a fashion that will hopefully be as safe as possible for people with disabilities of all types, vision, people who have mobility issues and can't move as quickly as others, as well as those with hearing impairment, particularly for the issue of the development of new patterns of bus stops and bike lanes and that sort of thing.
So as we're making it more accessible for certain vehicles, we have to be mindful of the people that are still on foot trying to use these areas. So a complex area, and certainly great that you're advising in this way. I think we've had some wins for the disability community when it's come to employment.
Yep.
Can you talk a little bit about what's been happening there?
The county has been very proactive in this regard, and they've set up two different programs within the last 10 years. There's one which is a hiring preference for veterans with disabilities, and people with disabilities. And that's been very helpful in terms of finding employment within the county programs, such as veterans becoming police officers, or it's just all over the board in terms of what sorts of positions are taken. And then there's a second, which is a non-competitive hiring preference, which was passed by a vote in 2012 of the county residents, and I'm very proud to say that Montgomery County approved that vote by 80%, and to this date I think we are, if not the only, one of the only counties with that preference in place. Having said that, there's a problem with employment because the county can't hire everybody with a disability.
Right.
So we are now working with the county and figuring out how we get the private sector to hire more people with disabilities as well.
That's great. So improvements, but still a large percentage of the population is still looking for work. But Montgomery County does take the lead in this area, certainly, in terms of its advocacy work. Tell me quickly about the idea of aging in place and how members of the disabled community can stay in their homes?
There's a wonderful program done through Permitting Services, which is called Design for Life. And it is a program which gives a tax rebate on any housing taxes up to $10,000 over a 5-year span, which reimburses people, not reimburses, but gives them a tax break for any changes they take to their homes to make them more accessible. And there are different levels of changes that can be achieved. You can just put up a grab bar in your bathroom, and that might qualify for a minimal rebate, but you can change your entire house so it is accessible for people with wheelchairs or motorized chairs, and get, with enough changes, the $2,000 per year benefit in their taxes for a 5-year period.
And you work closely with Design for Life as one of your partner groups. If people are interested in learning more about the commission, if they want to attend, I guess your meetings are open to the public?
They absolutely are. We don't limit the public in terms of once we've had the commissioners make their statements, if they have any, it's open to the public for public comment if there is. And we have a lot of input from former members who are no longer commissioners or other people who are in our community of people with disabilities who come in and give their expertise and their observations and are very helpful. So yes, it's open to the public, and we meet monthly except for 2 months in the summer. We do not meet in July or August.
Okay.
And we generally have our meetings on the second Wednesday of the month.
Terrific.
What's
a good website or best way to reach you?
Well, you can check us out on Facebook if you want, but probably the one that is the easiest portal is to go to montgomerycountymd.gov and then put /CPWD, Commission on People with Disabilities, just the initials.
Terrific.
And that'll get you to our website.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for your advocacy work on behalf of a large portion of our community, and we look forward to having you back in the future.
I look forward to it.
When we come back, we'll hear about a new county website created by the Montgomery County Department of Environmental Protection and its partners that will serve as a consumer hub for energy resources. Stay tuned.
The color in my garden keeps the pink in my cheeks. I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels. They're my savior. My name is Lola Silvestri. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Here's your chance to save money and help the environment. Bring your reusable bag when you shop and you'll save 5 cents for every store bag you don't need. Retailers in Montgomery County charge 5 cents for the plastic or paper bags they provide. Why? Because plastic bags are the biggest single source of stream and waterway litter, causing pollution and flooding. And every year, Montgomery County spends $3 million on cleanup. So do yourself and the environment a favor. Bring your reusable bag when you shop, you'll fight litter and keep the change.
Introducing Ride on Flex, Montgomery County Department of Transportation's new on-demand transit service to help you get around and define Rockville and Glenmont-Wheaton zones. Riding the Flex is easy. Download the Ride on Flex app, select your pickup and drop-off locations within the zone, and go to your pickup location, a corner near you, and you ride for $2 or less. Visit rideonflex.com for service areas and hours of operation.
Welcome back to Seniors Today. If you find yourself spending a large portion of your income on home energy costs, my next guest will tell you about a new tool that can help you save money and be a more energy efficient consumer. She is Larissa Johnson, Montgomery County's Residential Energy Program Manager. Welcome, Larissa.
Thank you for having me.
So I hear there's a wonderful new website, MontgomeryEnergyConnection.org. And how did this come to be, and what is it all about?
Sure. So this website was a few years in the works, but basically what happened was we brought a whole bunch of stakeholders together at the Department of Environmental Protection. We're not the only ones who talk about energy. There's also Health and Human Services, Office of Consumer Protection, all different agencies. And what we found was that information about energy was in very many places. And so what we talked to the stakeholders, and they said, you need to combine all of that information into one location. And so we created Montgomery Energy Connection to answer everyone's energy questions. So anyone in Montgomery County can go to this website and have any of their questions answered.
It's a great resource. I went on it today. I plugged in my zip code, and it actually showed me 14 programs that I could participate in, some of which I already have, but many I had not heard about before. Can you give an idea of some of the resources and cost-saving opportunities that people can find on the site? Yeah,
so that's the number one thing that we want people to do when they go to the website is put in their zip code, and you have to answer a few questions like how many people live in your home and things like that. And then it's going to pop out these programs that exist. These programs are all part of something called Empower Maryland. So that's a statewide initiative that has been going on since 2009. And so people have been able to take advantage of these programs since then, but most of them don't know about these programs. So that's why this website is so important. So what it does is it'll tell you the first two things are either going to be a home performance audit or a quick home energy checkup. The very first program that I always encourage people to do is the quick home energy checkup. It does not cost anyone anything additional. What happens is a contractor comes to your home, they're going to switch out your light bulbs to LEDs, they're going to give you high efficiency shower heads, faucet aerators, advanced power strips, they wrap your hot water heater pipes if you have them, and they do it all at no cost. It takes about 35 to 45 minutes, but it's very quick, it's easy to do, and it doesn't cost anything. The other program is the home performance audit, and that goes a lot more into detail, and that costs people $100. So we suggest that for folks who own their homes and can make changes to their homes. The beautiful thing about that program is that once you've done the home performance audit, it unlocks up to $7,500 in rebates.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so money that you would not have access to unless you do the audit.
So do the audit and get some extra savings. Tell me about solar co-ops. I saw that online. I was fascinated. What is that?
Yeah, so on the website, if you go to switch to renewable energy or I want to learn about clean energy, you find out about solar co-ops. So there's a lot of different opportunities for residents in Montgomery County. So for those folks, especially those that are over 55 and want to stay in their homes, one of the options that you can do is put solar panels on your home. And so the solar co-op basically brings residents together, and as a group they choose one solar installer. So they do a request for proposal. They decide as a collective group which solar installer they want to work with, and then as a result the cost of those solar panels is decreased tremendously because everyone buys it at the same time with the same person.
That is great.
Yeah. So we've had 3 in Montgomery County so far. We'll probably have another one in 2020, so be on the lookout. It'll be posted on our website. But in the last 3 years, we've had over 120 people go solar.
Wow, terrific. That's what an incentive, because it cuts down the costs when you're collecting more bodies and more people to be part of a co-op. That's a great idea.
The cost and the confusion. So you get to have your questions all answered at the same time. So instead of doing it all by yourself and having to go through 3 different, installers, you go as a group.
One
and
stop.
So it's a lot easier.
Yes, that's perfect. You brought some goodies today.
Yes,
Tell me a few of the things that you brought along with you.
Sure. So in my program, we try to make sure whenever we go out into the community that we're bringing tools to help people reduce their utility costs and keep money in their pocket. So we have a few silly things like this shower timer. And so this is a 5-minute shower timer, and it does not kick you out of the shower. It doesn't buzz, it doesn't beep, unfortunately. It's just a sand timer. So you just go in and you start your shower. Now a lot of folks say, what happens if I want to take a 10-minute shower? It's pretty easy, you just flip it back over. It's That's easy.
But to keep yourself mindful of your water
Yes.
usage is really important.
Water is important because it's a double whammy. You have to pay for your water if you own your home, and then you have to pay to heat the water.
Right.
So it makes sense to make sure you're regulating how much you're using. Another thing we have, and this is one of my favorites, is it's a single item power strip. So this is good for your coffee maker, for your toaster oven, things that should be unplugged,
Right.
but you just don't think about it every day. So it has a switch. So just like a light
Very
switch. So we've
smart.
been conditioned to turn off the lights when we leave a room. So this is the same idea. You turn off your coffee maker or your toaster oven when you are done with it.
That's great.
The other thing is your refrigerator thermometer. This is important because our refrigerator is one of the biggest appliances that's always plugged in. And so if we don't have an Energy Star appliance or an energy efficient appliance, we don't know what temperature our refrigerator is at. A lot of times it says cold, colder, coldest, or 1 through 5, and you don't know what that means.
Sure.
So it's important to make sure your refrigerator is between 35 and 40 degrees and your freezer is 0 to -10 degrees. And that just means that it's going to be running as efficiently as possible. So this refrigerator thermometer that we give people has blue bars to tell you when you're in the safe
So
zone.
smart. That's great.
And then the last one, of course, is our LED light bulbs. And so this is important because we do a lot of events in the community. So we go to senior centers, we go to the libraries. Right now we're going to alcohol beverage services locations, and we do light bulb exchanges. So you can just go to montgomeryenergyconnection.org and you can find out where we're going to be in the community. So we do a lot of this. So what it means is you bring us your old incandescent and compact fluorescent light bulbs, and then we give you LEDs at no cost.
That's terrific.
Yeah.
So you said senior centers. You'll be doing a lot of visits in the next several months.
In December, yes. I will be at Schweinhut, I'll be at Long Branch and White Oak. I think those are the 3 that we're going to in December, and we'll be doing things about lighting specifically. So we're going to talk about holiday lights, and we're also going to be switching incandescent light bulbs into holiday ornaments.
Oh, wonderful. That's
Yes,
terrific.
so we're going to be
Very
a little
timely.
creative, with the things that we would normally throw away.
What a great consumer gift. So can you give us the website address one more time?
Sure, it's montgomeryenergyconnection.org.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you so
on.
very much.
And believe me, I'll be using that site. It was really eye-opening for sure. That's it for this month's Seniors Today. Don't forget that you can access this show and a great deal of information about county services for seniors by going to the Montgomery County Senior website at montgomerycountymd.gov/seniors or call the Senior Resource Line at 240-777-3000. And as always, thank you for watching Seniors Today.
Hey everybody, Adam Ortiz here talking to you about how to gift outside of the box this holiday season. So there's a lot of things that we can do to give to our loved ones while giving back to the environment. So one way is to give the gift of energy savings. So a new air filter or LED bulb, stuff that you can pick up from your local home improvement store, can go a long way. Also using reusable materials as gifts, such as this water bottle or this reusable bag, are a way to save our environment and look cool while doing it. Also, if we have to buy stuff, there's a lot of resources right here in our county. So from the Agricultural Reserve, there's lots of fruits and craft beer and wines and things that we can buy, as well as arts and crafts from around the area. We can also give the gift of experiences. So a gift certificate for a dance class, a massage, or yoga can go a long way while providing a low carbon footprint. So this holiday season, as we give, let's not be a screw to the environment. These ideas and more are available on our website, and we're wishing you a very happy and safe holiday season.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.